It's time to get real with Eddie, here to help you understand the changing real estate market and meet your real estate goals. Over 19 years in the business, 2018 Realtor of the Year, current president of Three Rivers, director at the Illinois Association of Realtors, and team lead of the Rudiger Group at Baird and Warner. Here's Eddie Rudiger.
It's time for Get Real with Eddie, and welcome one and all. Here in the studio with me from the Rudiger Group at Baird and Warner is Nancy Valley. Nancy, how are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Thank you, Eddie. How are you?
I am doing horrible. My back is killing me. My hip flexor froze up Friday walking out of the office. I was out of commission all weekend. I did make a family wedding, but we left early because I was just miserable in pain, and I still am. So as soon as we get off of air, I'm done with this. I'm going to see the doc.
Good job. You got to go see him.
I got to go see him. So, I've said this a couple times lately, and I'm standing by this. This idea of getting old is dumb. Whoever thought of it, it was a bad idea. Whoever thought of getting old... No, bad idea. Let's not do it. I mean, that's where I'm at.
Just to enlighten you a little bit, since I am a skosh older than you.
Skosh?
A skosh.
A skosh?
A skosh.
Okay.
Just you wait. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Just you wait.
I couldn't even get out of bed Sunday. Please, I don't need more. Oh, all right. So, hot off the press just came out yesterday. It came out yesterday. Housing price forecasts for Illinois and Chicago from the Illinois Realtor Association. A lot of information we are going to dig into right now. So, first off, in July, the median price experienced a positive annual change in both Illinois and the Chicago markets, while the sales experienced a negative annual change in Illinois, but a positive annual change in Chicago. 19,196 houses were sold in Illinois, changing by negative 10.7% from a month ago and negative 1% from a year ago. So there was a almost 11% drop in sales in Illinois month over month.
That's crazy.
That's inventory. That is demand. I mean, I'm sorry, that's what we're looking at. In Chicago, 13,781 houses were sold, changing by negative 12.1% from a month ago and up 2.2% from a year ago. The median price was $263,000 even in Illinois, up by 12.6% from July of last year. The comparable figure in Chicago was $310,000, up 12.3% from July of last year. So, as we predicted, prices are still going up. I think we're seeing some demand fall off.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Slightly.
It's more normalizing?
Yes, it's a normalizing market. That is a great word. I think people are freaking out, and they shouldn't be. But there's a lot going on here. I mean, there really is a lot going on.
Oh, on all kinds of levels. Not only the housing industry, but health and people's jobs, all kinds of things are going on.
You've got individuals worried about the Delta variant.
Yes.
So you still have COVID in the market. That's still playing an aspect in it. There's obviously right now, there's concerns on overseas, both on the health aspects, and then you've got stuff going on with Afghanistan.
Yes.
You watch the stock market. The stock market has done a couple dips last week, dropped off and then came back, dropped off and then came back. It's pulling this yo-yo stuff. There's concerns all around. So in the real estate market, though, I think it is still the call. It is better to buy today than wait a year.
Oh, yes.
It is better to buy today than wait 2 to 3 years. I don't see. Now, there is always a niche area, a niche market where we could see some pricing falling off. All right?
Yeah, you can't guarantee anything, but the trends are still
for the state as a
moving
whole
forward.
and the specific, our area as a whole, you're going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And we got numbers on Joliet, so we'll talk local in a little bit. But looking at this report, it's very detailed. The amount of information I get it is just amazing. And this information comes to me ahead of time since I'm on the board of directors. It's at the state level. It's pretty nice. I got it actually embargoed. I can't release it till a certain date. So this is a lot of great detailed information when you're talking and looking at what is truly going on. So,
I can tell you're not feeling well today. Can you share that screen with me?
oh, hey, I am not feeling well. Let me, for those that don't know, I run the what articles we're reading at the time, and I did not share it because we
Yay.
use Zoom on that for that half of it.
There you are.
Hey, look at that! Now you can see what we're looking at, what we're talking about. How about that?
Well, I was listening very intently.
Very intently.
Very intently.
Oh, yes, I am not feeling good. I am definitely in some pain today, that's for sure. But as they say, the show must go on. All right, so here's what they're looking at. And here's what they're predicting, I guess. Available housing inventory in Illinois tightened, and year-over-year statewide sales dropped for the first time in 13 months. So that's sales volume dropped, not price. There's a difference. Through competition for fewer available homes caused by median price to increase, the average home sale in July 2021 took 24 days. So it was 24 days to sell a house in the state of Illinois, compared to an average of 50 days in 2020. Still better than half the time frame.
Yes.
Given the frenzied nature of this year's housing market, Illinois Realtors asked the University of Illinois to develop a 6-month forecast looking at the trends through the rest of the year, looking for median prices to increase while home sales fall more in line with 2020 levels. I could be happy with going back to 50 days on market.
Yeah. I love the word they used, frenzied. It was a feeding frenzy.
Oh, it was a frenzy. And
it really was.
And we've been predicting this. We've been talking of real estate, and this is not just Illinois. This is the entire country. You're starting to see these trends and this. We said it is going to start slowing down as we get closer to September. It's going to start normalizing as we get closer to September.
And it's here. It has begun. The normalizing has begun. It doesn't mean house values are going down. It just means it's not frenzied anymore.
No, and it doesn't mean you won't get into a multiple offer situation.
Right.
I still think you're going to see multiple offers continuing. Matter of fact, I just saw the last time we talked about it, multiple offers in June were 5.1 offers per house on the market.
And I was personally seeing 8 to 10 offers.
I just saw July's
Easily 8 to 10.
July's numbers was 4.4. So the multiple offers are falling off. It's just going to take time to get back. And we've always had multiple offers on properties. Well,
Yes.
Always. It's not something new. It's just something new when you see multiple offers on this many properties, this competitive in a market. It's just, that's the new part. So the 6 months forecast is attached, and watch for special video with Joffrey Hewings to be released on the 23rd. So that came out on the 23rd. I should see if we can get, I think it's Professor. I don't know if it's Dr. Hewings. It may be Doctor. They would have marked it as Dr. Hewings, I think.
I'm not sure.
He works at University or at U of I, and he is basically Illinois' Lawrence Yun. He's an economist. The guy is outstanding. Amazing data, amazing information. We don't talk about him that much because a lot of the stuff, we talk about is either very hyper local or hyper national. So, we get those aspects a lot. So here are some of the market dynamics. Statewide closed sales were down 1% compared to last year, as we said, and sales were up 2.2. We went over all this. We went over price. I want to go over the inventory. So inventory is down sharply. Available statewide inventory was 31,425, a 30% decrease from last July inventory. Was also down 25.9% in Chicago metro area and 9.8% in the city. And I think that's holding pretty true. We'll have to look at Joliet's numbers because we are considered Chicago metro.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to look at what that has. So, Fannie Mae came out with their home purchase sentiment index, decreased 3.9 points in July. The share of consumers who say they would buy a home if they moved rose by 1% to 69%. Also, if they moved, so I'm guessing if the interest rate moved by 1%, would buy a home if they moved. That's bad wording. Also shared consumers who expected their personal financial situation to improve rose 2%. So financial situation seems to be getting better for most people, and quarterly forecast titled Housing Market, the report out of Freddie Mac anticipates low interest rates and recovering labor market to support the housing market, noting the highest 12-month housing price growth since 1975. The pace of home sales has been slowing, indicating some softening in demand. I don't necessarily think that's softening in demand.
Well, if they're calling softening in demand,
it's based on
people just holding back a little bit. Hey, school's starting, this
Yes.
and that's going on. So I want to find out more about that statement and what they consider softening demand.
Yeah, I think they're actually looking at some of the aspects when it comes to the actual sales and the units. It's an interesting thought. Are we slowing because of the lack of inventory? Are we slowing because the consumer is stepping out of the market for, either frustration, either because of social scheduling, or are they getting pushed out of the market because of affordability? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily pricing, but the affordability. We have seen interest rates ticking up again. So we've seen them back above 3 a little bit. And as they go up, people's buying power does go down. So, that's the biggest impact, I think, out of affordability. It is always, individuals' income and the interest rate. Because the price is the least of the three that affect the affordability, because you take that price over 360 payments on a 30-year mortgage.
Well, I was going to say, it's about payment.
Yes.
It's not about price.
Yeah, we talk about that in our team meetings.
Yep.
When we have clients. And that's the big thing. If you're out there trying to buy a house and you're struggling, okay, because you're not finding anything in your price, okay, you need to talk to your lender and your realtor. And you need to say, hey, what property taxes do you have me at? Okay? What do you have me at with an HOA? And then you need to say, what is my actual monthly payment that I'm qualified for? That's what you need to look at. Because let's say hypothetically you're qualified for a $2,000 a month payment, okay? Now, principal and interest could make up $1,500 a month of that payment. $400 could be the property taxes, and $100 a month could be HOA.
Well, and especially in our market, you see a huge difference in HOAs. You can have an HOA $30 a month,
Yep.
or in the same town, you can have an HOA at $300 a month.
Yeah,
and that's going to affect your buying power.
Absolutely. Because you could be shifting from single family to condo, or a condo that is, or a townhouse, or is it a townhouse, but it's condo docs on the townhouse? That makes a difference. There's all different kinds of aspects that go into play when you're looking at your buying power. So that's what you really want to focus on. What's my monthly payment? Because now, if the taxes are down or there's no HOA, you may be able to buy more than that $200,000 house or $300,000 house.
Right.
You got to look at that monthly payment and determine, and then balance out and watch that number. And that's how you find the property in this market. All right, let's take a look at Joliet's numbers, because I really want to leave a fair amount of time here and really dive into what Joliet's got going on. All right, so
Thank you for making that big for me.
it came up big for you automatically this time.
I thank you for that.
I didn't do anything.
Because of my skosh more that I'm older than you.
Just a skosh more?
Just a skosh.
Just a skosh more. All right, so there's a big number standing out in this report for Joliet. So new listings are up 9.1% year month over month. Under contracts are up 4.9%. Closings are down 3.4%. But I do think that's because of a backlog from last year on COVID. We were closing still a lot of stuff that got delayed and pushed back in in April and May. They were still closing those out in July.
Yeah, I think our month to month is still going to be a little skewed because last year was such a goofy year.
Yes.
Yes.
So median sales price is up 6.6% in Joliet, $220,000 on the money. $220,000 is the median sales price of Joliet on detached single family. $233,714 is the average sales price, up 15.5%. Percent of original list price received, 100.9%. Average market time, 24 days.
I am a little surprised by that 100.9. I would have thought it'd be in maybe 102.
And here's the thing, this report doesn't do, okay? This report doesn't compare it to what last month was. And I didn't keep last month's, all right? And I can't go in and regenerate it. I am positive last month's was 101.8.
I was going to say.
It was
over 100%.
So in the last month, the percentage of list price received has actually come down month to month. I'm going to say it has come down. The other thing is, I know for a fact, last month, we are 16 days of market time in Joliet, and now it's 24.
And I would just say on the feels of it.
Yeah.
You can tell. It's definitely
the way the market's behave. It's very subtle, and because everybody's like, "Is it slowing? Is it slowing?" I'm like, "It's
normalizing." Because you call it slow, it means there's nothing going on.
We can breathe, but we're still breathing very heavily. Would be a good way to say it. I mean,
I like that.
It is still.
We're not out of breath,
Yes.
but we are
Yes, we can breathe now.
Yeah.
But you're still taking very deep breaths to keep yourself going.
not taking in oxygen at this point.
Yes.
I don't need an oxygen tank.
Percentage of original list price received in the last trailing 12 months, 99.7%, up 3.4% in the trailing 12, 17.6% up in the trailing 12 on the median price to 215. So, in Joliet, July attached numbers, median sales price on an attached property, $200,000. That is up 19%. $185,719, up 15% on the average sales price. Percentage of list price received, 100.9. Again, and it's funny because how both those numbers match. I just find that amusing. So it does seem, I think the consumers may be pushing back at writing, and I've heard this, that there's and I've talked to people, and there is this movement. They're pushing back. They're not looking to write 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 over list anymore.
Yeah, no.
It's just not happening.
They're not. They're not having it anymore.
I had one last month where we were substantially, it hasn't closed yet, so I can't say it, but it was substantially over list price, but it was market value. I even commented to the agent, I have no fear of appraisal. I don't mean to disrespect you, but this property was underlisted. They said, I know, I can't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so, we put the deal together, and we're going to be closing very soon here. But yeah, they were just like, yes. That's all they could say is yes. So, pretty amazing.
And people have their reasons.
Yeah, you know.
People have their reasons.
And it's a seller's house. They get to do whatever they want. It's their within reason as long as they're not violating the law. All right, so when we get back after the break, our president, Stephen Baird, sat down with Housing Wire, and we're going to take a look at that interview here on Get Real with Eddie. Welcome back to Get Real with Eddie. Hey, don't forget, we have our Pet Adoption Day coming up. That's what, September 18th?
Believe so.
I believe so.
So now I gotta check.
So. In the meantime, while we're double checking that, if you need information on buying or selling a house, give me a call at 815-823-5478. You can always go to yourdwellings.com, click on sell, and get a quick market check on your price. Was I right?
You were right.
Look at
Pet
that.
Adoption Day, 18th of September.
So yeah, we have some furry friends that need a new home. And this is one that we can't do. We need your help to get them a new home. So come out in September to our office in Plainfield and take a new furry friend home.
They are awfully cute. Gotta say.
I'm good friends. So we're going to have a face painter and we have a magician coming out. And they're family, actually. I'm beyond friends. They are family. And so I have to go. I'm going to find a way for the kid not to be there because I do not want to take a dog home. I am not ready for a puppy. We don't have time for a puppy. I have to be honest. We went over to another friend's house for their graduation party because her 18-year-old daughter graduated high school. And so it was graduation/birthday party. And she had a English bulldog.
Aw.
Cute as could be, but big enough where it knocked Eddie down and then just licked him and now he's freaked out from dogs. So right now he's not really into dogs, so I don't think I have to worry about it too much. So it is what it is.
He probably wasn't expecting it. And those little guys are
no
thick.
Yeah, yep, thick, and that's
They're thick.
And he's very, like, I don't know how to describe it. He's rough but yet gentle at the same time for being a child. Like, he wouldn't push the dog away or back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yet he jumps all over Dad like I'm a jungle gym. I mean, who knows? All right, so Stephen Baird sat down with Housing Wire. So for those that don't know, Housing Wire is one of the national publications out there when it comes to the housing market and what's going on in the industry. And it was a really good interview. Talked about, first off, I love the history of our company. And we don't talk about this on the air too often, but we lay claim to being the oldest brokerage in the entire country. Launched in 1855, actually launched before the association was launched. So,
Indeed.
In the 1960s, then executive John Baird tussled with the National Association over the group's enforcement of redlining, as Baird wanted to sell houses and sell homes to black people in areas that lenders and agents marked as white only. So it's nice to be with a company that was on the right page and right side of history.
Yes.
The fight for Illinois legislation over the matter was part of what eventually led to the 1967 Federal Housing Act. In 1991, John Baird's son, Stephen Baird, took over as president and CEO of the brokerage. What else? In 2005, Mayor Richard M. Daley declared March 28th Baird and Warner Day, and a route alongside LaSalle Street was named Baird and Warner Drive. I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Just learned that.
I
Now I
know.
want to check it out.
Uh-huh. I learned a lot when I was reading this. So, but yet, and then it gets into the fact that we are far from being a relic or some old stagnant company. And I have to be honest, I've worked for four brokerages. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is the most technological invested company I've ever worked for. It's also being a family-owned business, all right, and fifth generation owned. I have to say, it is the most corporate owned and ran style of company I've ever worked for when it comes to real estate.
Agree.
I mean, we have an HR department. I've been at other real estate companies where there was no HR. No HR department. So the company is the 26th largest broker in the country by sales volume, according to RealTrends 2020 figures, with $6.4 billion in that year. So the first question, what does Baird & Warner do today? So Stephen Baird responds, we were commercial real estate business for a long time, but our current is three major businesses. The brokerage business, which is what people know us for. But we also have a residential mortgage company called Key Mortgage and a title company known as Baird & Warner Title. People know us from the brokerage business, but we also have a mortgage originators and title closers. One of the aspects of this article that really gets into it, and actually I had a meeting with corporate this morning talking about a new plan that they are, a new technology and new service they're rolling out. And that is, in the last couple of years, Stephen Baird said the number has been, they asked attach rate or capture rate is a growing part of a brokerage jargon. Are most people who get loans originate by Key Mortgage who bought a house with Baird & Warner real estate agents? And they said in the last couple of years the number has been smaller more like 60%, but there's been a huge chunk of refi business. So if you take refi business out, about 75%. But 25% are lenders working with other real estate agents, because that's what they're out there to do. Our lenders, we have some outstanding lenders at Key. I have to be honest. Karen Walsh has been on the show, does an amazing job.
Yes.
So works very hard for her clients, worked very hard for a client of mine, and actually fought heavily to get a client of mine approved that should have been approved, and they got it approved and got the deal done. So it's just an interesting look. The biggest takeaway is the technology that we have available. The CRM that, as people go, okay, what's the CRM? Well, for a real estate agent, that's our contact management system. That is the ability for us to keep track of everybody we're talking to, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and we have a great CRM, a great contact management system. The support staff and the marketing materials we have for our clients. I mean, we have I wouldn't say hard copy, what would be, you were in the printing business, heavier stock style brochures.
Well, it's all done in a very upscale way. It's not just a little paper flyer. We're talking, 4-color and the heavier stock, and it has all kinds of inks and layovers and things that make it more upscale, more professional, and it translates into how people perceive us.
Well, and then on top of it, they have, so much for, the social media options to help market our clients and their properties. We have independent property websites. And as I tell my clients when we sit down with the independent property website, so there is a website that we built just for your property. There is no search feature on that page. You cannot search for other properties at all. And that is consciously done and purposely done. Because, as I say, what was it? I believe, from what I hear, I think it was Harvard did a study. The attention span of a goldfish is 33 seconds. Do you know what the attention span of a human being is?
It's probably about 15.
You were close. My understanding is they came out with 12. And that's because of, honestly, social media. At any point you get bored, I can grab my phone and have any entertainment thing at my fingertips, whether it's watching a movie, watching a TV show, or playing a game.
Yes.
I'm always entertained now. So we take that searching away from them and keep them focused on your house, because that's what it's about. It's about selling your property. So it's just really amazing aspects of what goes into the brokerage. Here's what I loved about the whole interview. All right. Anything else people should know about Baird & Warner? Stephen Baird. We've been the number 2 brokerage in Chicago market forever. There have been several number 1s and several number 3s. And they've always flipped. Coldwell Banker, RE/MAX, Now at Properties, and Compass is gaining. But we're still here. We're trying to grow our brokerage, but we don't care whether we're number 1, 2, or 3. Brokerage is so focused on market share, but the point is to make money. And that's making money for our clients, making money for our agents, and making money for, the industry. I mean, when you think about it, it's taking care of our clients. We don't care if we're number 1. We don't care if we're number 2. We talk about it in the team all the time when we have our team meetings. All right? Meredith Patch is an outstanding agent in our office. Michelle Carr is an outstanding agent in our office. And we're always flipping, flopping back and forth with who's in first place, who's in second, whether they're ahead of us or not. I'm happy, and we're always happy when we see that they get, amazing sales and have an amazing month.
Hooray to them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. It's the culture. It is so supportive. It's amazing. And I think it turns back over to, the clients also. So, all right, let's take a look at your new listing on Gray. Dun, 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 dun. So it's 112 Graves Court in Oswego, Illinois. It is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a 2-car garage for $330,000. Give me some info here, Nance. What do I need to know about this house?
Okay, this is actually a beautiful home. It used to be, or started out as the model. And so it has a lot of extras. It has the 2-story entry, the wainscoting, it has a beautiful master bath with an 80-gallon soaker tub and a steam shower and heated floors.
My wife would love that tub.
It has 3 more bedrooms. 2 of them have walk-in closets, the other a generous closet. They have a full finished basement, rec room area. They have a beautiful view out the back with the pond view. It's a lovely property top to bottom. It does need a little TLC, so it is being sold as is, but it's definitely a gorgeous property.
$330. This is priced to move for this market, this
Yes,
neighborhood.
it is.
That should be, so it's priced for the as is. So, all right. So if you want more information on this property or something else in that neighborhood, give Nancy a call. Nancy, what's the best number for them to reach you at?
My number is 815-545-1162.
All right. So when we get back from the break, let's talk about the fact that sellers are still in a sweet spot, even though this market is slowing. Stick it here with Get Real with Eddie. It's Get Real with Eddie. Hey, one more time, if you want to reach out to Nancy and get some information pertaining to buying or selling, Nancy, where can they reach you at?
You can reach me at 815-545-1162.
All right, so as I said earlier, the sellers are in a sweet spot still. So if you're looking to sell, now's the time to give either myself or Nancy a call. You don't offend me. She's definitely the better looking member of the team. I would call her. I have a face for radio. There's no doubt about it. But why are you still in that sweet spot? Well, on average, houses are getting 4.4 offers thanks to the higher buyer competition. So we are still averaging 4.4 offers. We were up to 5.1, so it is backing off a little, but still, 4 offers is still better than 1 or 2.
Yes.
Nearly 6 in 10 houses are selling above their asking price. Again, that is a great thing. And then this is saying that the average house is on the market is at a record low for 17 days. So the other aspect is the mortgage rates, okay? Our mortgage rates in the 70s averaged 8.6. In the 80s, 12.7. In the 90s, 8.2. In the zeros, there's a term for the zeros,
You know what?
and the tens.
My husband calls it the aughts.
The aughts?
Yeah. Like aught 8, aught 9. I don't know. We're old.
There's a term for it. I just don't know it. And same with the teens.
The aughts.
All right, so it's in the early 2000s, 6.9. In the early 2010s, it was 4.09 was the average. So 1 in 5 people want a house with more space. This is the chance to find a new home to meet your needs. So with new development, they're focusing on larger properties. You could always look at new stuff like Lennar. There's D.H. Horton out there. There's some other builders. Call us first, because it does give you an advantage to go in with a realtor before you meet with the builders. It just, definitely you are still in a sweet spot, buying or selling.
Yes.
I mean, the affordability aspect with these interest rates are still there. So.
Well, and doing both. Let's face it, if you're selling, you have to buy. So you're able to sell your home quickly and be competitive in the buyer's market on the back end. So for multiple reasons, like you just stated. So yeah, now's the time. Now's a great time to go.
All right. So the next one is that the lack of supply. It's not a lack of demand. I think it's actually, as our managing broker, Steve Ingalls, said, it's a over demand, not necessarily a lack of supply.
Yes.
We're getting the same amount of listings, if not more, than we had last year at this time.
Yes, we just have, because
we have that many buyers.
We have that many buyers because
Seriously.
of all the other factors going on.
Yeah.
People are interested in buying homes.
Yep. So Wall Street Journal shows this for new home construction. Home builders have sold more homes than they can build. Now they are limiting their supply in an effort to catch up. And I've heard this. The article quotes David Aldo?
Ald.
Ald?
Mm-hmm.
All right. David Ald, CEO of D.R. Horton, Inc., the largest home builder by volume in the United States, explaining how they don't have enough homes for the number of buyers coming into their models. Throughout history, to have somebody walk into our models and to tell them, we don't have a house for you to buy today, is something that is foreign to us. Danielle Hale, chief economist for Realtor.com. Hey, she's back in.
Yeah.
Remember, we had another chief economist, so maybe they're splitting duty.
That could be.
So, explains in a statement, if these changes in inventory dynamics continue, we could see a wave of real estate activity heading into the later part of the year. And I do think we're going to get busy after Labor Day.
Yes, I totally see it starting to get busy again. Everything's a buzz.
Everything's a buzz. People are hearing that it's slowing down. That means they want to jump back in the market. I got a phone call for another listing that I got to go and talk to my client on that one, which will be an extremely affordable house that'll go probably for around $200,000. I got to run the CMA. But that'll be an outstanding property. Mm-hmm. I mean, and there's just that commotion, that energy is starting to come back. I really think with the lockdowns being lifted, once Memorial Day hit, everybody went on vacation. People, I mean, you had people going out, going places, trying to be alive again. You know?
Yes.
Not necessarily being around people. I'm seeing a lot of camping pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so there's short trips, weekend kind of things.
Exactly. I'm seeing a lot of, aspects where, they're gone at an Airbnb for a month. Mm-hmm. That because people are working remotely, they're taking the kids to an Airbnb, staying and they're working from their laptop.
Yes.
I mean, why not?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mark Fleming, chief economist for First American, explains there's a lot of conversation around rising prices and falling quantity in the housing market. And there's this concept or this idea, it's a demand side problem. But if demand were falling dramatically, we'd actually see less price pressure and less home price growth. And I have to agree, that is exactly right. Because we're seeing the falling volume and less units sold, it's not a aspect that we have a problem with demand. or with us, necessarily demand falling off.
Right.
We have an overabundance of demand, and we have a good supply, but it's just still not enough to keep up with the demand.
Yes, I would agree.
You know, if we normally need 700 widgets and we have 1,000 widgets, but the demand is for 1,200 widgets, we've got a problem with the demand, not necessarily. Yes, we're short on supply, but you increase supply by 300 widgets.
Yes.
I mean, my hypothetical numbers there.
I like your widgeting.
So, all right, just wrapping it up. The National Association of Realtors, the median sales price of single-family existing homes rose in 99% of the metro areas in the second quarter of 2021 compared to 1 year ago, with double-digit pricing gains in 94% of the markets. So that's the big takeaway there, is it is that overabundance of demand.
Yes, that's driving this market.
Yes, I agree. It's just definitely the overabundance of demand. And I think we're going to see some changes. Any big plans this weekend?
I'm kind of hoping to get in the pool. It's supposed to be kind of hot, and I've been pretty busy and haven't gotten a lot of pool time, so.
Fantasy football draft.
Oh.
Fantasy football draft. I'm just saying.
Oh, you were working the numbers yesterday. I know it.
I was working. I had to see who my keeper was. My league that I'm in, it's a single keeper league. So.
I like to watch it. I love to watch football, but I'm not a big one on the fantasy part.
I like playing the fantasy just because, I don't see my friends that often because I'm always working. So it gets a little insane and crazy. So.
But I do love watching football.
I do. I like watching football. I'm looking forward to watching hockey. And I forgot to say, we took Eddie to go see Paw Patrol.
Oh, yeah.
Jeanette took him back to see Paw Patrol. And now we have Paramount subscription so he can watch Paw Patrol. He sat through the movie, was awesome, great, loved it. It was outstanding.
Did you do the popcorn and the drinks and the candy?
He's like, why do we have snacks? I'm like, because you get snacks at a movie, because it was his first movie. So It was a good weekend, even though I was in pain. All right, that's it for Get Real with Eddie. Keep it here for ABC News.
Thanks for listening to Get Real with Eddie. Eddie Rudiger is a realtor at Baird & Warner in Plainfield, license number 475141896. Managing broker Steve Engel. For more information on your neighborhood, call Eddie at 815-823-5478 or visit yourdwellings.com.